And now I got to quit rambling around here. We stayed there in a place called LBR. It was an old brick factory, and the French had started to build barracks there. And so we finished the barracks and put in bunks and a whole bunch of stuff. And we were there, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, I guess. 3. And we hauled a lot of sand because everything was muddier than the dickens. We hauled a lot of sand from the beach. By the way, we'd received our trucks back. And I got a side story on this. When Doc McGregor and I, we decided that our squads were doing all the night work and we were getting back hardly ever in time for breakfast. And so one night, I think the statute of limitations had run out on this. Doc and I sneaked into the officers' mess, and this was a real nice camp there in Ireland. I can't remember the name. Anyway, we latched onto a couple of cans of nice big Spam and a couple of jars of real good plum jam, and we stashed that in on our tool chests in our trucks, and we kind of encouraged the guys to keep their damn hands off that until we would have a good chance to eat it when we needed it. So we kept them neutralized on that for a while, and quite a bit of grumbling, but then we packed up and went to Scotland. And boy, they were ticked off about that because they were going to take our trucks away, and they did. But then the good news was that when we landed in Algiers, we got those trucks back. And the cans of Spam and jam were still in there, and everybody was saying, "Come on, Behrens, are we going to get into that stuff now?" But right soon after that, we went over into Oran, near Oran. We traveled there by one of those French goddamn narrow gauge trains, and it was, I think we were making sometimes a whole 25 or 15 or 20 miles an hour. We got up there, and Mount St. Cloud was the name of the camp up there, and we camped there for a while. And then we went up to Tlemcen, which was a walled city over at the very west end of Algiers. I'm not sure it wasn't in Morocco, but I don't think it was. We did a lot of reconnaissance out into Morocco. I guess it was French Morocco, it wasn't Spanish Morocco. I think we were trying to run a bluff on Franco to keep him from getting inclined to go with Hitler. Anyway, that never happened, and we stayed there in this camp for a long time. We had a pretty good time there, going to town and eating horse meat and stuff like that. Then eventually we packed up for one of the nicest trips I ever took. We went from Tlemcen down, went through City Bellabès, which is the home of the Foreign Legion. I didn't get to go to town that night, but some of the guys did, and they said it was a real kick. And we convoyed all the way across Algiers, and as we got closer to to the front, we had to go on air guards and a bunch of that stuff. Then when we got up there, we had to stop and get rid of our barracks bags and all that kind of stuff. And they told us if you got better shoes, you better put them on. And if you need anything uniform-wise, get it now because you won't be back here for a while. Well, they were damn well right about that because we never did get back there. And anyway, we went up there and did our thing with the infantry. Did put in barbed wire and through all that cactus. I thought that was pretty silly because that cactus. Were you there? That goddamn cactus was mean. Anyway, we did that and put landmines in there, and that's what we were doing when the stuff hit the fan. The Germans came out of Fayette Pass, rip-roaring there on Valentine's Day morning. We heard heavy artillery out there somewhere. I guess our artillery was firing. I don't know if they ever got a good round off or not, because the Germans came on through there and some of our tanks run up there and tried to do battle with them. It was far enough away so we couldn't see what was happening. And being optimistic about everything, we'd see a tank burn and we'd say, we got another one, see. They weren't ours. They were ours that were burning, not the Germans. And in a short while, they came charging back to City Bozed. That's where we were bivouacked. And we had, I remember a tank blew up right there close, right at the edge of City Bozed, and that's when we moved up onto the mountains. And when the fun started. And it wasn't fun. We had to walk out of there after about the third night up there. We'd suffered an attack or so.
The Germans had broken through at this point?
Yeah. They had broken through. They had broken through and they surrounded us.
Yeah.
They surrounded whatever it was. I've forgotten which group it was on the other mountain. And that's when we had to start moving out of there. And it didn't work. We got going out of there, and somebody said that by then I was working over headquarters, Colonel Drake's headquarters, and keeping in touch with our platoon. And one trip I made back there, the last trip I made back there, Walt Courts was in a kind of a foxhole up above, and he stood up and started yelling at me to run. See, I'd done that a day or so before, and it worked out all right. But I was then carrying a message around there that night we were going to move out. And Walt was yelling at me to run. Just about the time I figured out what he was talking about, I began to see the dust flying up all around me there. Mm-hmm. Somebody was damn shooting at me, see? And it didn't take me long to shift into high gear. I was pretty close to safe territory anyway, and I got over there and Walt was still laughing at me, the son of a gun.